Hi, this is Alex from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book and record to play for you. Today's book is Raspberry Tart and Rhubarb for 1982. So let's get started.
This is your Raspberry Tart read-along book. Every time you hear this chime, it means it's time to turn the page in your storybook. Now we are ready to begin. Open your book and we will start. And remember, when you hear the chime, turn the page. It was market day in Strawberry Land. All of the Strawberry Land kids had gathered by the road that led to Sunflower Market. They were waiting for Escargot, the snail, to come by with his cart and pick them up. Everyone was there with baskets full of freshly picked berries. Everyone, that is, except Raspberry Tart.
Hurry up, Rhubarb! We're late!
Shouted Raspberry Tart as she dashed around the house. She was sure she had set her alarm clock the night before, but in the morning it didn't go off at all. Someone must have reset the clock. Raspberry Tart didn't have to think very long to figure out who might have done such a thing. There by the door stood Raspberry's friend, Rhubarb Monkey. Whenever anything goes wrong in Strawberry Land, you can bet your last berry that Rhubarb has something to do with it. It's not that he wants to make trouble, he just wants to play. Sometimes, however, his playfulness can go a little too far. The cart was just passing Raspberry's house as she and Rhubarb hurried out the door.
Wait!
Shouted Raspberry.
You wouldn't leave without me, would you?
She grabbed her basket of berries in one hand and Rhubarb in the other. Together they scrambled into the cart. It was quite a silly sight. Lemon Meringue scolded her gently for being late.
Well, it's not my fault.
She turned and looked directly at her little pal.
Someone was fooling around with my alarm clock. Someone with two big ears and a long tail.
Everyone in the cart laughed. They were glad to have Rhubarb along for the trip. Although the monkey had been known to cause a problem now and then, things were never boring when he was around. Rhubarb squealed and began jumping up and down. He was excited about the journey. You see, this was his first trip to Sunflower Market.
Now you had better be a good monkey when we get to market,
said Raspberry Tart.
I don't want you causing any mischief.
Rhubarb shook his head as if to say no, but there was a fun-loving twinkle in his eye. He was bound to be up to some monkey business again. The trip to Sunflower Market took about half the morning. It was a beautiful day in Strawberry Land. The road to Sunflower Market wound its way around Sunday Mountain and under the big oak trees that lined the roadway. The strawberry kids sang and laughed all the way to market. Soon they were almost there.
Look up ahead,
shouted Raspberry Tart.
It's Sunflower Market.
Escargot pulled a little bit faster, and soon they arrived at the market grounds. There were people everywhere. Sunflower Market was a wonderful place to be. There were so many things to see and do, after you traded your berries, of course. Raspberry Tart traded 1 pint of berries for a garden hoe and a new pair of green and white striped stockings. Just as soon as the cart pulled into Sunflower Market, Rhubarb Monkey jumped down and disappeared into the crowd. He climbed up a pole and leapt from stall to stall. There were all kinds of goodies at the market that day. Jars of honey, freshly baked cookies, and homemade jam, too. None of these goodies interested Rhubarb, though. He was looking for his favorite thing in the whole world, bananas. It didn't take Rhubarb long to find some bananas either. He gazed down from a nearby tree at a whole cart full of yummy yellow bananas. With so many ripe bananas, the owner of the cart certainly won't miss a few, thought the hungry monkey. He couldn't control himself. Rhubarb jumped down from the tree and landed in the banana cart. Unfortunately, he didn't pick a very good spot. The cart was delicately balanced, and when Rhubarb landed with a thud, the cart wobbled from side to side and then turned over. The bananas spilled all over the ground. Poor Rhubarb was almost buried under a pile of bananas. The owner of the cart came running when he heard the noise. He dashed about wildly trying to catch the silly monkey who was busy romping through the bananas. Suddenly, the owner stepped on a ripe banana and slipped. He tumbled head first into the pile. It was quite a funny sight. Raspberry Tart came running when she heard all the noise.
Where is that silly monkey? I just know this is all his fault.
She found Rhubarb hiding behind the wheel of the cart and grabbed him by the arm.
You've been a very naughty monkey,
Scolded Raspberry. Rhubarb jumped up and down with a banana on his head. Suddenly, Raspberry Tart realized that everyone was laughing. Even the owner who had slipped into the pile was laughing so hard he couldn't stand up. Soon Raspberry Tart couldn't help herself. She was laughing too. After all, there's no sense in crying over spilled bananas.
So that was Raspberry Tart and Rhubarb for 1982. So please like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day. We'll have another video coming out real soon.